Hello, I'm Rui. I will talk about the life cycle and some knowledge about Puer tea. Puer tea comes from the southwestern part of China's Yan'an province, which is close to Myanmar. The unique geographical conditions make it grow here more than 3,000 years ago, and it is a living fossil. There are 5 steps in the life cycle of Puer tea. They are the production and picking of raw tea from the tea garden. The production process uses a specific process. The third step is to store it for aging, and then it flows into the market for consumers, and finally its life is ended thrown away. Regarding raw materials picked from tea gardens, it is generally divided into spring tea and autumn tea. This is because the taste of tea leaves is different in different seasons. The first thing to pay attention to is the tenderness of the tea leaves. The tenderness of picking and the proportion of buds and leaves determine the later production process, such as the time of greening, rolling techniques, etc., which also have a great impact on the later taste. The second is the picking time. In order to pick the perfect tea leaves, tea farmers usually pick tea half an hour after sunrise. The third is the standard of raw materials. The picking standard of Puer tea is mainly 1 bud and 2 leaves, because the fresh leaves at this time reach the best state in terms of maturity and content, which lays a good foundation for the later aging of Puer tea products. The last is the picking method. The most common method is the picking method. In addition, there is a very special picking method, that is the rattan picking method. It's all about getting the perfect raw material. The production process of Puer tea is very complicated. First of all, we need to spread it out to dry to ensure that its moisture content is about 70%. The second step requires removing the cyan. This is to remove the grassy smell, quickly inactivates the enzyme activity at high temperature, and prevents the oxidation of polyphenols. The next step is kneading. This step can crush the tea cells and ensure that the tea juice is fully soaked during brewing to effectively transform its taste. Then pile it up. The wet tea leaves are piled up in a certain area indoors, and under the joint action of microorganisms, heat and humidity and oxidation, the unique flavor and quality of Puer tea are formed. The next step is to press into tea cakes. In order to facilitate storage and transportation, if Puer tea appears in the form of loose tea, the transportation volume of Puer tea will be greatly reduced if Puer tea is made into cakes and other shapes by autoclaving. The final step is to wrap it in tissue paper. Puer tea is different from other teas. It does not need to be isolated from the air for storage. On the contrary, Puer tea likes a ventilated and dry environment. The storage process is its second life. The total amount of tea leaves to be transported can be increased and more stable, keeps the long-lasting aroma of Puer tea. Storage and aging is a very important process of Puer tea. Aging means letting it age longer, under proper conditions and within a certain storage period. The quality of Puer tea will increase. The Puer tea in a short period of time is dark green and green after brewing, and the tea fragrance is not too strong. But if you store it for a long time, the water after brewing Puer tea will be red, and the tea will have a strong aroma and better taste. For the convenience of sale, Puer tea will be turned into tea cakes, which will be packed in boxes, paper or plastic bags. It means that Puer tea really becomes a finished Puer tea, which is consumed by consumers. Process, which is the end of its life cycle, and this process will complete the last 20% of its life cycle. Compared with the human life cycle, this is the stage of old age. After a lifetime of hard work, this moment should be the harvest period, and it is time to enjoy this life. After tea is drunk, it loses most of its life. The rest of life can be another part of helping humanity. So what other uses does it have? First of all, we can remove the onion and garlic taste in our mouth. After eating raw onion and garlic, there will be peculiar smell in the mouth. Chewing some tea can eliminate the peculiar smell. It can also prevent bleeding gums. Tea chewing can clean the mouth, remove breath, and prevent bleeding gums. Not only that, but the tea residue can also remove the fishy smell from the cutting board. When the fishy smell remains on the cutting board and tableware, wipe it with tea dregs to remove the fishy smell. Most importantly, it also serves our flowers as a flower fertilizer. After the tea dregs are decomposed and poured into the flower pot, it can maintain the moisture in the soil and is a good flower fertilizer. Lastly, it also removes cookware grease. If the cooking utensils are stained with grease, wipe the cooking utensils several times with fresh wet tea dregs to wash off the grease. Puer tea has been serving human beings throughout its life, from birth to burial, and finally it returns to the environment. I hope you learned something about puer tea from my video. If you have any questions, please contact my email. Thanks for watching my video.